Everything is connected. Everything. The Bible shows foreshadowings and how one connects to the other, connects to the other. But more importantly, the book of Samuel shows just how, even though we have free will and our choices, God still makes everything connect. Because He is all-knowing. He knows the beginning. He knows the end. He knows the choices that we're going to make. It took one man for sin to enter into the world. And it took one man to take the sin away. But just for a moment, I just want you to realize, man, I just love how deep it just keeps going. And every time you keep rereading the Bible, it's not important just to read the Bible once. It's important to constantly keep reading it over and over again. But in the book of Samuel, God was upset because they chose to have a king versus God, trusting God, that He was the one to look after them. So they kept on insisting on having a king. Their free will chose a king. So a king indeed did God give them. And it wasn't about Saul, it wasn't about David. It was about God, who was already in charge, also being the King of Kings. And I'm just like, it's just a blessing. It's just love. And all I can say is, like, look how happy they are, because they got what they wanted.
Long live the king! Long live the king! Long live the king!
This is Saul becoming the first king. And they're excited because their choice, they finally got a king. No matter what we're going through, no matter the mistakes that we choose, our free will that we do, even if it upsets God and go against, like, God was in charge. And they still wanted a king to rule over them instead of God. God knew the free will, and He gave them what they wanted. He gave them a king. And ended up still being the King of all kings by Jesus Himself. But He used their free will, their arrogance, their disobedience of God ruling them, to still have Him be the King of Kings. Because through that king bloodline of David being the king, and Jesus being born, not just because of Joseph's bloodline, but also through Mary's bloodline. Both bloodlines of Mary and of Joseph, because even though Joseph was not blood dad, father of Jesus, it doesn't matter, because Mary's bloodline also, he would still have royalty claims to be the king. God is good. I pray this helps remind you today that we are blessed. We are definitely blessed. Through our mistakes, through our free will, that God uses everything. His will be done. No matter what we choose to do in our mistakes, God's will for His kingdom will be done. We will learn lessons. We will draw near and dear and closer to Him through our mistakes. But in the end, God is the victor. He is the winner. So yes, we have free will, and we will mess up. It will make the wrong choices, and we'll place other things unknowingly, unwillingly sometimes, over the trust of God, who is in control, and we'll do our own thing, and we'll learn from that. But just know that during your mistakes, your unknowingly mistakes, God is the victor. And we will learn, and this will all, if we pay attention to the lessons from our mistakes, we will grow. We will draw near and closer to God. But make no mistake about it, that God, even in our own free will still have the victory.